What up, YouTube? Tonight's red light video is all about the number one difference between raw food and cooked food, at least from what I've experienced. So I have a unique perspective on this because, I ate cooked food like most people up until about 18, 19 years of my life. For the first 18, 19 years of my life, it was all cooked. And then when I learned about learned about the enzymes in raw foods that don't exist in cooked foods, I was interested. I was like, oh, enzymes in raw food, I want to get some of those. Went on my journey, became 100% raw vegan, stayed raw vegan for a full 10 years, then started to incorporate some cooked food into my diet after those 10 years. So I know what it's like to be fully raw, I know what it's like to add some cooked food in, and now I do raw 5 days a week and then cooked on the weekends. Now the difference between cooked and raw food, the number one difference from my experience, is the speed of digestion, the effort of digestion. On raw foods, it doesn't really feel like much is digesting. It's just fruit going through you. It may feel like I'm digesting something if I eat a big salad or something, but there's not much digestion when you're eating a dragon fruit or a melon or something like that, a mango or anything nice and light and juicy. There's no real digestion. Even a banana feels very light and easy on the digestion. But with cooked food, it's always the same. It's always the same. Every time I eat a cooked meal, I feel it right away. When I eat a raw meal, I don't feel it. I feel the same before the meal as I feel during the meal as I feel after the meal. The raw food just lets me feel how I'm supposed to feel. The cooked food though, before the meal, I'm like excited to eat it. And then when I eat it, I'm like, okay, it's not as good as I thought it was going to be. And then afterwards, I'm like, oh, I feel a bit heavier. I feel a bit like sluggish. And the digestion transit time takes a bit longer too. I feel a bit sleepier. And digestion isn't as good. I'm more gassy, more bloated. And on raw food, I'll poop like 5-6 times a day. Boom, 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 boom. 0 cent. With cooked food, I'll poop maybe 3 times a day. It's like half as much. And they have some scent to them. They're a bit stinkier. So there's just that's like the number one difference. The number one like undebatable difference between raw food and cooked food is just the transit time and the digestion aspect. So for me, on raw food, on a fruitarian diet, on a clean fruitarian diet, my digestion was perfect 100% of the time if I was doing proper food combining. But on cooked food, it didn't seem to matter what I'm eating, the digestion is just not as good. Now, of course, I can make the digestion as good as possible on cooked food by doing intermittent fasting, keeping it high carb, keeping it simple, making sure I'm getting a good amount of exercise in, making sure I'm getting in a good amount of sleep, and making sure I'm eating in a good state of mind for sure. These things all play a part in good digestion. But with raw food, it's just like the default is really good digestion. You don't really need to do anything to make it better. It's just really good on raw food as it is. But on cooked food, the default is not really good digestion. You got to make sure it's, you almost got to like optimize your digestion just to kind of counteract the effects of the cooked food. So that's that. That's just the number one difference I found between raw food and cooked food. It's the digestion. So that's it for now. Peace out. Much love. Have a great night, a great morning, depending on when you're watching this video. And let me know in the comments below if you find a difference between raw food and cooked food in that same respect when it comes to digestion. Or if there's something else that you notice as well. Let me know what else you notice. The thing about hampered digestion, impaired digestion on cooked food is that the digestion is not just what happens in your stomach. When I'm talking about digestion, I'm also talking about like the mental fatigue that comes in as well. Like after a cooked meal, my mind is not as sharp. I feel a bit more like, my vibe's a little bit lower. My brain's a little bit foggier. Can't think as sharp. I feel a bit more lethargic. On raw food, that's not the case at all. Energy is just stable the whole time. So that's it for now. Peace out, adios, much love, and chat with y'all soon. Bye for now. And the reason I want to make this video is because I want to make sure you're not crazy. You don't think that you're crazy when you feel these effects on cooked food. And when you do eat raw food, if you're feeling amazing, it's because it's the raw food. So just want to give you some perspective from someone who's done both raw and cooked. All right, peace, ciao.